Hello there, and welcome back to Echo Base Network. I am the coach. Today, big news. Everybody's excited that we got Ahsoka in a live action series. We got that in The Mandalorian's last episode titled The Jedi. And now, for the first time, the actress who portrayed Ahsoka Tano, Rosario Dawson, has released her first interview over at Vanity Fair. She sits alongside none other than Dave Filoni as they discuss Ahsoka and playing the character. This is really good stuff, and it has a great deal to do with perhaps the future of Star Wars. Let's check it out. So, over at Vanity Fair, they asked the question, where did it begin with Rosario playing Ahsoka? When did this concept first come to you both? And again, Vanity Fair is speaking to both Mrs. Dawson and Mr. Filoni. Rosario Dawson says, actually, it first came from fans online. Someone tweeted me a fan cast of me. I retweeted back and I was like, absolutely, yes, please. And hashtag Ahsoka lives. And apparently that got the attention of someone who has been doing the Star Wars press for years. She forwarded it to Dave Filoni. That kind of started a whole thing. I was like, oh my goodness, did I just get fan cast in something? And then nothing happened. Dave Filoni chimes in and says, that was the first time, and I looked at Rosario and I thought, yeah, I think maybe she would make a good Ahsoka. I just kept loosely aware of what she was up to, and she was doing some Marvel things. But I'd seen interviews with her where she would talk about wanting to play the character and her excitement, so it was interesting. So it's kind of neat, guys, as they're revealing exactly how this all happened. This was not any type of preconception. This is a fan who tweeted Rosario Dawson, a fan cast, and Rosario Dawson basically lets the world know via Twitter that she would love to play the role, and that comes all the way back to Dave Filoni and eventually Jon Favreau, and they actually offer her this role. And I got to tell you guys, if you haven't seen it, they hit a home run with this. Her portrayal of Ahsoka Tano is spot on, in my opinion, and it's moving this franchise forward, perhaps for the first time in years. So Vanity Fair is going to continue. They ask, so you were a fan already? And Rosario Dawson says, Rosario Dawson says, I'd seen some of Clone Wars, and once I got the role, I actually went and started watching everything in its order. I started seeing a lot more of the connective tissue. There was always that conversation around Ahsoka leaving the Order and that being a major trigger for Anakin going to the dark side. It was just really incredible that the character started off as a teenager, you know? So here's Miss Dawson answering the question about her being a fan, and not only does she answer that extremely well, she goes into the background story and the lore of Ahsoka. This is a professional actress who actually has some passion for this role. And I got to tell you, as Star Wars fans, we have got to be happy with that. We have to embrace that. They pulled it off. She did her study. The makeup crew and all that, the appearance, and we're actually going to get into that in just a little bit in the interview. But I am so delighted at her answer here about her being a fan, because we don't want people who were casual Star Wars fans. Star Wars demands people who love the franchise to carry it forward. We don't want somebody who's just some type of bystander or passerby. We want somebody who's invested, that cares, and cares more, honestly, than just about their performance or getting paid. We want somebody who cares about moving this franchise forward, or, from a certain point of view, pumping life back into it. So Vanity Fair continues. What else had to happen as part of the transformation into Ahsoka? And Filoni says, I said, well, Ahsoka's eyes are blue and yours are not. But I don't want you to worry about it. If you don't want to go for that, we can just say that in this version, they're not blue. And Rosario insisted. She's like, no, 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 let me try it. And then Dawson chimes in and says, I remember when I put the contacts on, that was when it really solidified. The headpiece, the tails, the shape, the coloring, everything. Doing the face marking, doing my skin, wearing the costume. All of that was absolutely incredible, but I still kind of felt like I was in cosplay. The second the contacts were in, it was Ahsoka. I felt like I disappeared. And I think that's exactly how she should feel. It is a transformation. The actor becomes who they are playing. That is a master actor or actress, rather. And we are very thankful for that. And, it shows her dedication to the character by putting the blue contacts in. How many of Hollywood's elite would chose to not do that? Dave Filoni said, "This is good enough. You don't have to wear the blue contacts. You are Ahsoka." And she said, "No, no, no. I got to do this." So that is just awesome. And she continues, "Fans have watched Ahsoka grow up on the Clone Wars. They've seen her go off on her own, seen her fighting as a lone wolf in Rebels. What did you want to reveal about her at this point, much later in life?" And that question is actually Vanity Fair talking. And Filoni says she is, for lack of a better term, a master, because she's largely an independent at this point. "I play her much more as a knowledgeable knight. A wandering samurai character is what she really is at this point. I've always made comparisons to her heading toward the Gandalf stage, where she is the one that has the knowledge of the world and can help others through it. I think she's reached that point." So it's interesting that Filoni chimes in about the late stage of Ahsoka's development being the 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 master. He refers to her as a master. And that's something that a lot of fans are having to come to grips with because she left the order. And in Rebels, it's apparent she did not go back. So to look at this, and if Dave Filoni's saying she's a master, she's just not a master like the other Jedi are. She's her own type of master. She was obviously trained, obviously has great powers. I mean, look at her. She could take down an entire little city, little town. So a master for sure. The episode is called The Jedi, but Ahsoka's whole identity is based around her leaving the Order. And Filoni says, "Yeah, I think something fans like about the character is that she's rather complex. They all focus very hard on the line, 'I am no Jedi,' from Star Wars Rebels. But it's undeniable that she's trained by the Jedi. I think to most observers, she is very Jedi to them. I would argue in some ways by being so selfless and rejecting a lot of paths that would have given her power, she's more Jedi-like than even some characters who claim to be Jedi." So there's Filoni right there saying she's more Jedi than some of the actual Jedi, even though she left the Order. That is great character development, very rich. And you know what? We don't have to have everything explained in our Star Wars. Everything doesn't have to make sense. We don't have to know every little detail. The story works. The story works. And in the episode of The Jedi, Ahsoka chose not to train Grogu. She didn't say, "I can't train him." She said, "I will not train him." So a master, that's something that we have to come to grips with. She obviously is that. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode and a look at Rosario Dawson and Dave Filoni alongside her being interviewed talking about playing Ahsoka. And this is the first public interview that we've gotten from her. It was very classy. Two little side notes here. It was very classy, in my opinion, when Rosario Dawson first tweeted right after the episode launched or aired, "May the Force be with you." And but even bigger than that, there was some fallout when Rosario Dawson was cast. There was a lot of fans, including myself, that wanted Ashley Eckstein to reprise the role of Ahsoka. I was very upset about that. I didn't care about Rosario Dawson, did not matter to me. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm eating crow right now because it hooked me. It got me. And they were right. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing. More about that in future Echo Base Network videos. We got some Dave Filoni specials on the way, and we're really excited about them. But they're getting this right, and it feels right. It feels good. So it's very classy to me. The second thing was how Rosario Dawson praised the work of Ashley Eckstein, publicly praised it, talking about how instrumental she was in the development of that character. She loved Ashley's voice and everything that Ashley's done along the way. And just she raved about Ashley Eckstein. And I'm not taking a shot at Miss Eckstein here because I am definitely a fan. But Ashley Eckstein had a chance to say something about Rosario Dawson's performance when asked about Ahsoka in the last week. She only talked about Ahsoka. She never mentioned the actress whom is now playing her. And I was a little disappointed by that. And I'm not saying that she hasn't. If you guys have seen Ashley Eckstein praise Rosario Dawson in that episode, please drop a comment and let me know where to find that below, because I would love to see that. I really hope that she has, and if she hasn't, I hope that she will. It's the classy thing to do. Ashley Eckstein, no one can take away your performance and everything that you've done for Ahsoka in the past and what you're going to do in the future. And we're excited about it, ma'am. Hope you guys enjoyed this look into Rosario Dawson's episode and her interview over at Vanity Fair with Dave Filoni alongside. As always, I am the coach for Nicholas Glenn. We are, and you are, Echo Base Network. We're out.